So, we've talked about Norton and what events are taking place. Is there anything you want to say particularly about the Norton before we sign off?
I just want to say a special thanks to Claire. I'm sure you do too.
No, not particularly. My joke.
What the hell, Claire? What are you this for? Just go away. Jesus.
No, why? Why? Hello everybody and welcome back to another video back at the Norton Arms in Runcorn, and guess who's with me?
It's me, Rick, again.
He didn't give him a chance to guess.
Okay, have a guess.
Who is it?
It's Rick, again.
Oh, are you going by Rick or Richard?
I'm going by Rick.
Is that your preferred pronoun? I mean name?
It's my preferred name. And you insist on calling me Richard, but you're a true Englishman, that's why.
No, it's because I met you as Richard.
Yeah, I have two Facebook pages. My name is Rick Cottrell, so I have my photo work that I do is always Rick Cottrell because that's my name. But in order to not get confused, I have my personal Facebook profile as Richard.
Yes, hence why I call you.
They're both correct.
They're both correct and incorrect at the same time.
Yes, aren't we all?
Which is the paradox. I mean, mine is very simply Stephen J. Holloran, and that's why my YouTube channel is so called.
Yeah, but you could also perceive it as your last name might be Presents, because one of your profiles is Stephen J. Holloran Presents. So, hello, Mr. Presents. Onwards with the video.
Shut up, you! Stop showing my ignorance to my own name. So, what we are here to give the Norton Arms a nice big pat on the back and to give it a bit of. They don't need the push really. They're getting all the customers.
No, I've just been downstairs to get some beers, and they're fully booked on a Tuesday night.
It's amazing, isn't it? They've done exceptionally well. Before we go any further. Do you want to tug with me?
Let's have a tug.
Let's go.
Children, look away.
Now grab and make sure you grab it hard, right?
Okay.
Oh yes,
Of course.
Who's got the strongest grip?
What? What have you got?
I've got a tape measure.
Tape measure.
That's the one thing I don't need.
No, you don't need that.
I wonder why that is. So you can have it.
Thank you.
You can tell me later on.
I will probably actually genuinely make use of that.
You have to. And we've got a nice hat, but we've got a hat, so we don't need it.
We've got hats. So we'll put this hat on either a cat or a dog to make them.
Well, you've got two cats, haven't you?
I got two cats.
Gorgeous cats.
Gorgeous cats.
Okay, Joe, before we go any further, what do you get if you cross Santa with a duck?
Sand duck.
I don't get the punchline. Lots of presents and a bill.
Right.
What's that mean?
Because their ducks have a bill.
What's it?
That was crap.
It was a rubbish. Made me look a right idiot. Sorry Claire, I'm not listening.
That's what you get for bargain basement.
£5?
£5.
Not for one cracker. I mean, like, I got a set of 6 just for the radio show. None of them banged on the radio. It's like...
No. Yeah, but you always win, so that's why you paid for it. You pay for the owners to win.
Anyway, let's move on from that topic because we're here for a particular reason. The Norton Arms. Your favourite establishment, would you say, or one of your favourites?
Oh, I have many favourites. Many favourites.
You cheating scumbag.
But given that this one is within walking distance to me and it's ye olde reliable, literally ye olde reliable, 758, that'll be very old.
That's what time we're staying till in the morning.
1758 this place was built, so it's been here a very long time.
So if you could go back a couple of 100 years, this was the only thing here, and then everything around it was like fields, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the landscapes, the castle, and then just basically Main Street, and then fields beyond.
Imagine what it would have been like if we could go back in time in this very spot. Well, maybe not
there
spot,
is pictures. I'll tell you what, so Stephen has now printed an image on the screen of
printed
of the superimposed an image on the screen right now of what this pub used to look like, surrounded by fields. I have the picture of it. I'll send it.
Thankful.
Yeah, so this pub has been here for as long as everyone can remember because it's that old.
Was it in the Doomsday Book?
Pretty sure it was. Yeah, I mean the castle was in the Doomsday Book. Senechaux's house here was in the Doomsday Book.
Yeah, so that's why I'm asking.
Passed through many hands over the years. It ended up in the hands of the Brooks family, hence why it's called the Norton Arms. It used to be called the Red Lion. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It used to be called the Red Lion, like most pubs in the country.
Why the Red Lion?
Red Lion because it's a British symbol, isn't it? The red lion.
Oh, 3 lines on, but not.
Well,
three.
the red lion is what many Englishmen took into battle in their flags, as opposed to the Red Cross, the St George's Cross.
Yeah.
Pre St George would be Red Lion. Hence why there's many Red Lion pubs.
I am educated.
You are now.
Thanks for that.
The Brooks family of Norton Priory,
Yeah.
because they owned the castle and that was their beacon on the hill. They also acquired the Red Lion, called it the Norton Arms because
Ego.
technically it should have been called the Brooks Arms, because if you look at other historic pubs, the Grosvenor Arms, blah blah blah, they would be renamed after the estate. But I'm relatively sure that Norton Priory Estate was so called Norton Priory Estate, not Brooks Estate at the time.
Yeah.
So it was called the Norton Arms.
But people always forget this, you could probably see each location from where you were stood. So
Yeah.
the castle straight to Norton Priory, here down towards the Mersey.
Yeah, so I mean the castle, other fantastic pub, definitely check it out if you're in the area. We've done plenty of videos there.
We've done loads this year up there, but we should get back up there again soon.
I mean, how lucky are we to have the castle up there and the Norton here?
I think you're luckier than me. I was born into this inheritance. I was born into this area.
I'm lucky to have ended up.
I was a wee toddler down the road there.
I'm a Warrington expat.
You
Stephen
are.
reminds me of that quite often.
You came over here and you didn't. No, you didn't, did you?
I came over to greener,
in a car.
I came over to greener pastures.
And they're building on it. But never mind. So
yeah, when they built without getting into it too much, when the castle, when they built it up to look like a castle, because it looks like a castle, but actually a lot of that's fake.
Don't spoil it.
They built that to look like a castle so they could see it, and their mates, when they brought them round to Norton Priory, they could see the castle.
Because
ruin.
I remember as a kid learning about the devolution. Is it devolution or dissolution of the monasteries and what they did to the castle and demolished it? And I thought, hang on, why didn't you just finish the job? You know.
Yeah, well, it was pretty much gone. So when the Brooks family moved in, Richard Brooke decided to make it look like a castle again. He built some windows and things so you could see it. And when he brought his friends round to his house, he could go, "Look at my castle! Look at it up there!
Look at my castle!
Look at my castle!"
Sounds like a radio.
And then they go, "Whoa!
Next, Slade.
Let's go to the pub. You own a pub, don't you, off the road?"
Pippin Spiffing.
And then downstairs in this pub there was a mortuary at the front of the pub at one point.
In this pub?
In this pub.
This very pub?
This very pub. A famous executioner once visited the pub, and it was in the local newspaper at the time.
Why this pub?
Well, I mean...
Because I know that probably wasn't a pub at the time, was it?
No, the castle wasn't a pub. There were several pubs on Main Street in Norton, in Holloran at the time, and in Norton.
The glory days, as you call them.
But this one has stood the test of time for one reason or another, and it's...
Why do you think that is?
strong.
I mean, I wish Claire was here so we could sort of run things through her, because she's proud of this place. But why do you think it stood the test of time?
To be honest, I mean, I came here when I first moved to Runcorn. It's hard to try and get into my frame of mind. It's going back quite a while now, but we came here for a meal and a drink. And I think it's always been considered. I mean, certain things that I look for in a pub, if I can. It's not always the case. I want to try and look for a free house, if I can.
Yeah.
So I want to try and go to a place that's not a chain. I want to go to a place that's old and traditional, homemade food and real ales on tap, beer garden. Norton's pretty much got all of those.
It's got it in the bag and it's got the village surrounding it.
Yeah, so it's basically it's like a central part of the village, isn't it? Really?
And it's and no disrespect to the castle, but it's no hill. There's no massive
I mean, to be fair, I get thirstier the higher up the hill I go. So
it's good profits from that.
No,
we spent many a drunken time up there.
Yeah, to be honest, we are spoilt for choice. I mean, there's not certain parts of Runcorn aren't spoilt for choice, but we are here.
Well, it's just the fact it's got a good balance between what we'd call, say, working class area, but you can walk into something like this, which is on our doorstep.
Very unique and good prices here as well. It's not they don't rip you off. The food is home cooked.
Food is delicious. I mean, you rave about Scotch eggs. Did you do Scotch eggs here?
They have done Scotch eggs, but everyone's done Scotch eggs at some point. Yeah, the food is brilliant. I mean, to be honest, what I think has brought them forward in the past few years, and especially this year, is the amount of events and special, unique short-term plans that they've had at this pub.
Yeah, and they always seem to be not ahead of the curve. But they always seem to know exactly what this place can do.
Yeah, well, they're always engaging. You should never really just rest on the basics that you're providing as a pub. You need to give people a reason to come. So the food is great, yes. The atmosphere is great, yes. The sports are always on, yes. Beer is great, yes.
Yeah, but there's no. I mean, I don't know if you've been here before. If you haven't, come and check it out. But when you come in, you've got a seating area which is classed as the quiet area.
Yeah.
And then you walk through into the bar area, which is where
sports are. There's a place for everyone, really.
Well, it's in the same spot, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, not that I get the opportunity to come here that much at that time, but I'm told in the week, my favourite point of the pub really is the bar when you walk in, because that's one of the original bars.
The roof.
You don't really, they don't allow punters there during evening meal times, but in the day, if you were to come in, you can drink at the original bar, the old bar.
Yeah, you can sit anywhere.
That's where the real ale is.
Yeah.
But it can get a bit cramped there if people are old to be eating. But yeah, they've got so many events on. I mean, they've gone crazy.
Can we just bring up the beer a minute, because they're sat here and I'm parched. So what have you bought here? Because there's a couple of ales on that I haven't seen.
Well,
look at the pub.
I made sure to take a picture downstairs so that I don't get this wrong.
So I'm going to future Stephen. Remember this.
Yeah.
I'll superimpose it.
So Stephen over here is drinking a Mad Goose Pale Ale from Purity Brewing Company. Sustainably brewed in Warwickshire, 4.2% session. Stephen likes a pale.
I do like a pale, but that's only because it's close to what I've been used to for a long time.
You might remember that beer. We had it when we came to watch Die Hard at the cinema night last week, which was great. We came to watch the Die Hard Christmas show.
Yes, I remember it, yeah. Slips
so
down very easily.
So yeah, that one's a very sessionable beer. This one here is a fine ale. Reverend James Original. 4.5%. Brewed by SA Brain & Co Limited.
Ooh, that sounds like an evil empire, doesn't it?
Evil Empire.
They're going to rain terror on Gotham.
A picture of his face on the cap.
That's the height of
Reverend James Buckley.
Imagine that.
You can't get more of a.
If you brought out your own brewery, if you went to Spit and Feathers, you'd be like, I'm going to make it about me.
So the difference in beer that we've got here. So these are the two real ales that they've got on a Tuesday. So the Norton is quite good in the fact that they will always have at least one real ale on.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of the week, which is something to.
But they must get through them. They must be popular.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, obviously, they don't get through them as quickly as the lagers and the craft beers, but they do always have them on, and we've got to applaud them for that, really.
Best not quite, because I might turn off the record.
So I've got the Reverend James. This is I would say that's a ruby ale. You can see the difference between them.
Yeah, I do remember this now, and I just hope. I mean, it's a shame that what do you call it? Not the tent. What's it called outside?
The marquee.
Marquee. It's a shame that's not on all year round, showing different.
It
varieties.
is, but then again, it's quite deceiving in that you don't realise that it takes up the whole beer garden, because it's too cold to sit out there. They've made a really good decision to repurpose the beer garden and cover the entire beer garden in a tent.
Yeah,
but it costs a lot to heat it up.
As we found out.
Yeah, you've got to pump it all up.
Because even when it's heated up, you're still in the middle of a beer garden.
Yeah.
In the middle of winter.
Well, when we were watching Die Hard, it was -4 outside.
Yeah, it wasn't the best temperature, but I was still comfortable.
Yeah, we had blankets on and fires.
They came round early on, Claire and the team, and they came round and went, here's ponchos. It wasn't a poncho, but it was like a blanket.
Yeah.
Fleet.
They made us very comfortable. We got hot dogs, we got brownies and cakes and popcorn.
And the flame in the middle.
And they kept lighting the fire for us.
Flame. And it was great, and I just wish that we could have seen Die Hard 2 and 3.
And Die Hard is a Christmas film.
Well, we know that, but Bruce Willis
has recently come on public and said that it's not a Christmas film. It's a bloody Christmas film.
It's got Christmas songs.
It's got Christmas songs. It's
Christmas
Christmas
spirit. It's about family.
Yeah. And what better to happen at Christmas time than for German terrorists to be either removed or put into prison?
I don't think any of them survived, did they? Apart from the dude in the van.
Some took quite a lengthy flight down to ground level.
Rest in peace, Hans. He's a fictional
Yippee-ki-yay.
But this is what I mean. I mean, the Die Hard is an inspired choice for. I mean, this place could have done any movie, but Die Hard.
Yeah, they did the
That's
Grinch in the daytime, didn't they?
Grinch for the kids, and I'm not really into the Grinch myself. But then Die Hard is such a quite a decent choice.
Yeah, it was by request. People requested it from them.
Oh, there you go.
But we could also talk about the other events that the Norton has got on.
Well, we're going. This is what I was alluding to. I was going to segue into it.
Oh, okay. Well, this is the Rick show. This is the Rick show, remember? So what date are we on?
I don't give a shit now. It's stole my thunder.
So we've had the World Cup. That was their last event.
When's the final?
It's been.
Eh?
It's been.
What's been?
Argentina won, spoiler alert. They won on Sunday.
Who did? The final?
Argentina.
The World Cup's over.
Mate, it's Tuesday now. It was on Sunday.
Was it? I thought it was tomorrow.
Oh, you just locked yourself away, didn't you, clearly?
Honestly, I don't give a shit.
Okay, so
Bigger
while
things.
he's not giving a shit, so what's left at the Norton this month? So we've got Thursday. So they have their merry meetups where you can basically rent a table in the marquee.
How much is the table?
I'm not sure how much a table is. It's £20 a person. We can have it for office, Christmas meals, events, evenings, and then you have your family.
Oh, I wonder if there's any left, because I was going to come next Friday. This
Well,
Friday?
the next
one?
merry meetup, the last merry meetup is Thursday.
Thursday. I'm getting it all wrong today.
Mad Friday Christmas Party, 23rd. That's this Friday, 7
That's
till
probably
11.
what I was looking at.
Saturday, Christmas Eve, Polar Express, which is the Christmas movie show that we went to, but Polar Express.
Never seen it.
Christmas Day, obviously Christmas Day. Monday, Boxing Day match. So the football is a tradition on Boxing Day, so they'll be showing that on the big screen in the marquee. Stephen loves that. So the 27th, 28th and 29th and 30th are basically up for hire in the marquee to make use of it before it gets torn down, because it gets taken down in January.
Yeah, taking down's a more appropriate word, because torn down makes it sound visually like
Slash it.
I'm sick to death of you.
Yeah. And then the big one, the big shabam, New Year's Eve, Saturday the 31st.
I wish I could come. I really wish.
I wish I
could
could come. I kind of want to come, but I have to adhere to other people's arrangements.
Was there a vote involved?
Well, if there was, I would have lost.
Oh,
Because we can walk here, can't we? Whereas people always seem to want to make plans.
well, how long? I'm not going to disclose the locations, but you're not that far from me at the moment.
No.
So that's about 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it's
But
another.
it depends on what other people are doing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's a give and take. It's usually.
I'd like to come here for New Year's Eve.
Maybe next time. I mean, I'm now single, so I can come here on my own. Why are you doing that? What's on that face for? You're like, oh god.
Yeah.
But it's a perfect location for intimacy, even if it's full. Not like that.
Yeah. No, it is. It is.
He's annoying. Honestly, I'm being good here. I'm not doing anything wrong. You're just looking at me, giving that glint in your eye.
No. New Year's Eve would be brilliant here, to be honest. I mean, I would be here if I could. Hopefully they'll do the same next year.
So
sure
you'll be married this time of year, won't you?
Yeah. Get married in August.
So hopefully you have another veto power in the marriage clause.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, let's hope you do, because it at least once something. You know, it'd be nice to come and do this.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, I've tended to sort of go to Holiday Inn or the Village Hotel.
Yeah, and
Stuff
I've been
like
to some massive big parties and gigs before New Year's Eve that have turned out to be rubbish.
In what way?
Just like they you realise it's 12:30 and you missed the countdown, but you were in the room and they haven't done it properly.
Oh,
And you paid
that's
the price to
disappointing.
be there at this big gig, this big rave or whatever, and then it's like, oh, right, okay, I guess we're just...
I'm a firm believer that if you bring in the new year as you mean to carry on, it sorts your year out. And I think that's the takeaway from every New Year's Eve. When I've had shit New Year's Eves, it's carried through for the rest of the year. So what I'd say to you is, what has been the highlight of the year for you? Now, while I've got you here on camera, what's been the highlight for you?
Highlight of the year for me, blimey.
I know. Getting to know me more has been a way up there.
Oh, yes. No, to be honest, the highlight of the year for me has probably been taking a positive career change and moving into something that I care about.
Yeah, and you can see by your persona you've lifted.
Yeah, you know, I'm doing something day by day that I love doing. Making beer, what could be better, out in the countryside in Cheshire. I've moved from working in an industrial estate in Merseyside to the countryside in Cheshire, and I'm a Cheshire boy. No disrespect to Merseyside.
Are you sure you're Cheshire? Because we're part of the Liverpool City region now.
Let's not get into that.
I know. You saw what I was doing then.
No, but no, yeah, that I would say. What about you? What's been your positive?
I think it's the little things for me. I think a lot of it is down to finally figuring myself out and figuring what I want to do. Now I'm single and footloose and fancy free. Figuring out what my passions actually are, and going at them.
Concentrating on yourself.
Yeah, meeting fabulous people like the landlord of this place, landlady of this place. Is that right? Landlady, landlord?
I think these days it's supposed to be an asexual term, isn't it? So, for example, when they do best actor and best actress, they're trying to now just do best actor.
But actor's a male term, isn't it?
Traditionally, yeah, but I think they're now trying to make it just...
I mean, I don't mind that.
So be it, really, to be honest.
I say landlord when I mean landlady and stuff,
yeah,
but
landlord,
I don't want to get it wrong.
Yeah, landlady.
It's a minefield, isn't it?
Yeah. I think landlord, we're now just using the straight term.
Yeah. I mean, look, this place has really impressed me, as did the castle this year when we did the beer festival, and just the sheer amount of stuff going on in Runcorn that goes unnoticed.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's so many venues in Runcorn that are really pulling out the stops.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in a time where pubs are struggling, the old town is losing pubs left, right and centre too this year. The Bridge View.
Yeah.
The Barley Mile.
Such a big one now.
Losing pubs. But you know, I mean, you've only got to look at... there's so many pubs, to be honest, you've got to go into High Runcorn.
Oh, yeah.
There's pubs there, there's bars, there's pubs, there's venues all around. Really pulling out the stops to try and make people come and eat their food, drink their beer.
Yeah.
There's plenty of places to choose from.
There's plenty, but people have got to go and do it. It's like we said about the elections, if you don't vote, you don't get anything. So people power is everything. So if you come out and support your community, support your local pubs like the Norton Arms, it's going to keep going, it's going to keep doing what it does best, which is supporting the local area around it. I mean, this area, Holton Village, I mean, it's looked after really well.
Yeah, people have a pride here. I mean, I think it's got a beautiful balance here in this village, and even in Runcorn East in general. It's of people are down to earth. There's real people that you meet here, but people are grounded. So the conversations are real. You can talk about struggles. You can talk about the joys of life. You can talk about the good and bad things in life. You know, everybody has got the same experiences as each other, but they're all willing to have a good time together.
And people, I don't know if you had this where you come from. It sounds a bit weird that, but I don't suppose it's a secret that you're from Warrington.
No.
So basically, you know, I don't know what Warrington's like, but I'd imagine it's not like an individual experience, because in Runcorn, someone like stopped me today at the bus stop and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" and just talking on the ground.
To be honest, I mean, I don't really know what it's like in Warrington anymore. I've it's been so long since I've lived there.
I was there today. It feels like a city, even though it isn't a city.
Warrington has got a lot of
disconnect.
It's divided quite a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about certain divides, but you go over the water in Warrington, it's a different town.
It feels off. Whereas Runcorn, I mean, I made this point before that Runcorn does have an identity crisis, but it's not a massive detriment to the town. It's still got its core value of being really like a countryside.
The people
town.
here are real people.
Yeah.
You know, and you can get to know people in half an hour as soon as you meet.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It goes the same for a lot of the towns around here. St Helens.
I still maintain that Runcorn is the best town, one of the best towns in Britain. It's just not championed enough.
Yeah, but you know what? To be honest, if it was to become more like other towns in the country, it wouldn't be what it is.
I think that's where they're going with it, because if you look at all the towns and cities, they all look the same. They've got the crazy paving, the same.
There's no town in this country really, in the northwest or anywhere, that's really like Runcorn.
No. Well, what's got canals, world class. the ship canal runs through it. You've got bridges. You've got
History left, right, and centre.
history all between it.
Yeah.
And people in Runcorn go,
Well, people, you know what? And people outside of the town, they take it for granted.
yeah,
They really do.
Yeah.
But in a way, I kind of like the fact that we have our own little niche here, because we know what real value that we have.
well, as
A lot of
someone who's
people might
come into
turn
the
their
town,
nose down at it, but-
you come into this town and you've seen its potential. You've seen
Yeah.
places like this, and I grew up here, and I've always seen the potential, but it's never felt as if anyone else around me's felt the same.
Yeah, well, there is an element of, some people don't have as much pride as they should. But then there is also the debate about whether or not certain parts of the town have come from, the original
Do you mean like
Cheshire side
the
of things.
Cheshire identity?
Yeah, so the half of the town is, some people say, is more Scouse than Liverpool.
But when you come to Runcorn, you do tend to take on the Runcorn small town mentality, which is we want to conserve.
If you concentrate on the real Runcorn part of Cheshire, the real background of Cheshire, then that's when you start to see the real value of it, because it's been here since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Runcorn was at one point the heart of Cheshire, really.
Yeah.
It was towns and villages all around.
Or was it the edge? Because I know that it went up to sort of Widnes, and that was Lancashire, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but if you look at it, Runcorn was once the urban district, and then the rural district of Runcorn stretched far and wide. You look at the amount of places. Half of Warrington used to be part of Runcorn. People don't really realise that. Stotton-Heath used to be part of Runcorn.
And that's why it's.
And who in
technically-
Stotton-Heath would you let you remember that fact? Eh?
Well, aren't they technically Holton still?
Who?
Stockton-Heath, or do you pass across to Warrington?
No. Well, Stotton-Heath is now part of Warrington because
Yeah.
because Cheshire absorbed Warrington, didn't it?
Yeah.
But everything below the water in Warrington used to be part of Runcorn rural district.
If we're going to close now, because we've been talking for ages, and we're probably going to have to edit a little bit of this. So, we've talked about Norton and what events are taking place. Is there anything you want to say particularly about the Norton before we sign off?
I just want to say a special thanks to Claire. I'm sure you do too.
No, not particularly. No joke.
What the hell, Claire? Wait, what's this for? Just go away.
Jeez. No, why?
Basically, I want to say a special thanks to Claire because she's been so accommodating. Every time you come in there, she's super friendly. Any idea that you've got, she wants to be engaged in. She'll come and sit at the table with you as long as you're not trying to.
I would have liked her to have been here just to talk more on camera about it. But
Yeah, but she's got a life.
She's
got a life.
She's got a life, but I don't. I was like, I have to bring it up on air.
No, you'd be hard pressed to find a better landlord.
But no, even though she's busy, she doesn't feel like
Finds
she's run
time.
ragged.
Yeah,
she
but-
finds the time.
We've been here at times until closing, and she's just been there, sat with the local punters having a chat. She
Yeah.
gets involved. And she's in the right place. If more pubs had landlords like Claire, not just in this town but across the country, then the whole industry would be a better place.
Yeah.
2023 is going to be a hard year for pubs and breweries. So breweries are going to, the price of wheat and barley is going through the roof because of Ukraine. So prices of real beer is shooting up, or any beer, because everyone's using barley. You have to make beer. So the prices are shooting up. That price gets transferred to the pubs, and then the pubs can either choose to stop selling it or pump their prices up. Then it affects the punters, whether or not people start drinking at home again like they used to during lockdown. 2023 is going to be a hard time.
It's going to be hard.
One thing I will say is, you cannot replicate this beer at home. We've tried a mini keg in our other video.
Yeah. See link in the description.
With the ceiling. It's almost as good, but there is no replicating a real ale pulled from a cask pump from a cellar in a historic pub with the fire on, with the lights on, with your landlady talking in the corner of the room. There is no replicating that. You cannot make that happen in your house.
Sense of community as well. That's around you.
So, if we were to give any advice at Christmas, we would say, go to your local,
Whichever it may
Support them.
be, if it's the Norton,
Whichever
or it's the
look,
castle.
preferably a free house and
Yeah.
you know, a place that isn't guaranteed profit.
Yeah.
And go and support them. Get a few pints a week. Just
And what's your New Year's resolution?
my New Year's resolution.
Because I know it's going to be a big year for you regardless, because you're getting married.
My New Year's resolution is to make sure that we get this wedding done right and planned properly. And
Wedding aside,
wedding aside, you know.
because I know the gravity is like the wedding's Jupiter at the moment, it's pulling everything in.
But wedding aside, just make sure that at this time next year when we're doing this video, again, next December, that we're happy.
Yeah.
As long as we're happy, that's all that we need to do.
Yeah.
And given everything that's going on at the moment, if we're managing to do that, then we're all
Well, my New Year's resolution is going to be to own my own property. And I know the economy's up and down, but I guarantee.
Well,
have my own
it
place
will.
by then.
At the moment, it's up here. So
Well,
you can't.
it's guaranteed to come down. I know
Yeah.
that. I just don't know how far down enough yet. But I'm getting myself ready. But that's beside the point. This time next year, I'm hoping that I'll own a place, you'll be married, and things will be happier
Yes,
for everyone.
absolutely.
But anyway, Merry Christmas
Cheers, Merry Christmas.
and a Happy New Year as well.
New Year.
And if you want to know more about the Norton Arms, the link in the description down below. Spitting Feathers, who he represents, he's got a t-shirt there. Yeah, or hoodie, I would like to say. And yeah, whatever you're doing, have a very, very Merry Christmas. Don't do too many naughty stuff, right? See you in a bit. Oh, nicely done with my hat on.
Nice bit of receding hairline there for you.
You receding the hairline as well?
Yeah, I'll be like you soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Buona vos. Buona vos. See you in a bit. See you everyone.
Bye bye.